This is the story of when my girlfriend was kidnapped by her boss. My girlfriend Anastasia was working as a part-time waitress at this pub to help pay for school. This job is perfect because she can work part-time but still make a ton with tips. It definitely helped that, well, let's just say the crowd at the Fox is kinda shady. While she was working there, she got pretty close with Sean. He was the owner's son. He pretty much ran things since his parents were always gone on vacation. They're super rich. I know. From this place? Really? But Anastasia didn't care. She liked her regulars and they liked her. She did her job and went home. Never asked any questions. Until one day. Sean comes up to her after her shift.
Anna, wait up!
What's up?
You know I wouldn't ask unless I had no other choice, right?
What do you need?
Could you be a darling and drop this off at Jimmy's?
What is it?
Money for of course. How else do you think we keep the customers happy?
Good night, Sean.
Sean's a pretty sarcastic guy, so it makes sense Anastasia didn't really take him seriously. Besides, Jimmy is always at the Fox. He's like Sean's best friend. Plus, Jimmy only lives a couple blocks away from Anastasia. All she has to do is get off the bus a little early, then walk home after. It's no big deal. But before Anastasia even gets to Jimmy's house, a black car pulls up, the window rolls down, and it's Jimmy. Get in. Anastasia wouldn't just get in the car with a stranger, but this is Jimmy. Jimmy the jokester. She knows Jimmy. Right? I don't care how well she thinks she knows the guy. Getting in a shady black SUV on a street corner? That's a no for me. At first, Anastasia thought this was some awful prank, but she feels more and more uneasy. She looks out the window and it's just country road. They're far away from the city now. Eventually, she gets fed up and...
Where are we going?
Jimmy's normally a pretty talkative guy, but for some reason, the whole way there, he's dead quiet.
What the hell, Jimmy? Just tell me.
He's angry, but he still doesn't say a word until... We're slowing down. Anastasia looks out the window again and... We're on some kind of farm. Get out. Anastasia steps out, but Jimmy points at the bag. She picks it up and he leads her across the grass and they stop in front of some kind of barn house. Go in. Again. Normally, Jimmy's all jokes, so some part of Anastasia still hoped this was a prank, but his tone was dead serious. When Anastasia gets inside the barn house, she sees... Ugh! The smell! There are pigs everywhere! And on the other side of the room, there's an old man lighting a bonfire. Looks like he might be a farmer.
Don't be shy.
The farmer looks up at Anastasia.
Do you have my package?
She assumes he's talking about the bag that Sean gave her. She's used to handling herself around shady guys, but something about this man was different. He had this murderous intent just radiating from him. She doesn't want to mess with him, so she just carefully hands the bag over to him. He unzips it, then peeks inside. Then he turns to the fire and flips the bag upside down. Tons of cash fall into the fire. What are you doing? The money! After the bag empties out, the farmer turns around calmly and says,
What money?
Suddenly, Jimmy calms down. Seems like they have an understanding.
You know what to do.
When the farmer notices that Anastasia was startled, he turns to her and says,
Don't be scared of the piggies. They don't eat people. But that old girl over there, if she's hungry enough, she'll take someone's head right off.
Anastasia realizes that all the attention in the room is on her. Both the farmer and Jimmy are staring at her. That murderous intent is more potent than ever. Should she run? But where? She's literally on a farm in the middle of nowhere. The farmer walks towards Anastasia and raises his hand and gently brushes her hair.
You're a pretty one, aren't you? Alright, nice to see you, Jimmy. Take her home on your way back.
Yeah, I know it's my own girlfriend, but I'm just saying. When she told me this, I was so sure she was done for. But just wait, it gets creepier. Anastasia's pretty shook about what happened last night, so she considered calling in sick for work. But she wants to go in and give Sean hell for putting her through that. So she marches straight up to his office, doesn't even knock, and just barges in. But, huh? He's not here. Sean's never taken a day off, ever. But there's a first time for everything? As much as she was mad at him, she did care about her job. Since she knew where everything was, she just took over and ran the pub for the day. But oh boy, is Sean gonna hear about this when she sees him. But the next day, Anastasia's so ready to give him hell. She goes into work again and marches right up to Sean's office and barges in.
There you are! Who the hell do you think you are? And don't even get me started about Jimmy!
What about Jimmy? It's Jimmy!
Oh, nothing. Where's Sean?
Not sure. Have you seen or heard from him in the past 24 hours?
No.
Me neither. I'm kinda worried. He never just disappears like this.
Right.
Obviously, there's an elephant in the room. Has Jimmy forgotten that he basically kidnapped her the other night? I'm sure he'll turn up, but I'm gonna run things around here until he does. You cool with that?
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah?
sorry about the other night. My uncle's a weird guy. Well, that's not really an explanation, but at least he's sorry?
Don't worry about it.
Anastasia goes on with her shift, but the entire time, she can't help but feel like Jimmy's watching her. And he's got that same murderous intent she felt from the farmer, Jimmy's uncle, the other night. Anastasia's convinced that she needs to get out now, otherwise, she's never leaving this place at all. But how? That's it! Anna, you in there? What the hell?
We're waiting for our drinks.
Sorry about that, buddy. The waitress will bring them right over.
Don't think you heard me. We've been waiting for our drinks.
Right. I'll bring them right over. Suddenly, the shady regulars at the Fox were the only people Anastasia could trust. Turns out that good and bad isn't so black and white. The guy she thought was good is a creep, and the guys that society sees as crooks end up saving her life. Since Anastasia got paid in cash under the table, it wasn't hard for her to quit. She just never went back. But she still had so many questions. What did Jimmy want? And who was that farmer? What was the money for? And why did he burn it? Most importantly, what happened to Sean? It wouldn't be until years later, when an article comes out about the Fox being shut down, that Anastasia's questions would be answered. Turns out, the whole place was just a front for a drug operation. That explains why the family was so rich. And that farm? I'm guessing they weren't just growing wheat. But Sean made one grave mistake. He was finessing their supplier by demanding lower prices. Otherwise, he'd buy elsewhere. The farmer didn't like that, so he burned the payment and told Sean's family that he never got paid. And that was a good enough reason to hire Jimmy to get rid of Sean. They never did find Sean, so we don't know for sure what happened to him. But I have my own theory.